information, CEOs can be put in the jail for 1 year or they have to pay 10 lakh rupees fine. We have IT Act of 2000. You won't know, but these days, in last, Pawan Duggal, I'm not sure how many of you know, he's the president of cyber laws and all that. You see his articles coming in. He was telling me there is a rise of almost 200% of cyber crimes in India. Right? Information theft cases are maximum. And apart from that, the number of cases being solved for suicide or murders or terrorism through the emails or through the data is amazing. All the telecom companies in India are supposed to keep all our call records and SMS logs for 3 to 6 months. But guess what? When the police guy comes, he doesn't care whether law says 3 months. He wants all last 2 year data. Right? Because in the Mumbai case, if you look at it, right, they were planning for almost mobile users. And all of us, even if we do 10 calls or 10 SMS messages, how much information mobile companies are storing. And that information is not just the primary storage. That needs to be backed up over every week for backups, replication, snapshots, all those things. So that information is multiplying. As you saw in the Tom's mail, that 1 megabyte mail, how it becomes 51 megabyte in a year's time. That is the growth we are talking, but at the same time, there are a lot of regulations, a lot of piracy issues, a lot of complexity which we have to deal with. And that's where you guys, as a student, as professors, you need to chip in. You need to see how we can make this environment much safer for our coming generations. What new algorithms we build, what new encryption methodologies we develop, right? How do we come up with these challenges which is the industry facing? And that's where one thing which sometimes I feel bad, that we in India, we don't do that much. That's where a lot of research happens in US. We are coming up. If you look at last 3 years, in EMC India itself, we have filed, I think, about 120 or 125 patents from India. Okay, so it's happening, but still the pace is not that high. That should come at university level. Okay, just writing the white papers or writing the papers is not that good. If you look at one of the article I was reading, which says in US, so many professors write white papers and papers for conferences and all that, but how many gets read, you know? Any guesses? How many people read those papers which are written by professors? Any wild guesses? Any guess? 2. 2 people on an average read that white paper written by professors in US. But guess what? The research which they are doing, that gets recognized more. Industry uses that research, converts that into product ideas. Okay? So we need to spend more on R&D, we need to look at where are the challenges industry facing and make our education towards that. Make the courses according to that. Right? So if you look at the evolution of storage networks, in last 50-60 years, we have moved from server-centric approach to network-centric to information-centric. What is happening is, people are saying, information politics is information anywhere, anytime, anyway, any device, anyway. I should get it. I don't care. If I am carrying a BlackBerry, I should be able to read my emails, I don't care where my servers are. I don't care what storage you use, whether EMC, HP, Hitachi, IBM. As a user, I should get the information. That's what the technology we are talking about today. It's all information, nothing else. That's why EMC is best positioned. Right? Because our business is only storage. In a typically SNIA forum, I cannot talk about EMC. But here I can, because I am in both. So that's how the things are changing. I tell you one thing, as a student, if you want to focus on 2 technologies, software as a service and virtualization, you should start mastering them right away. And one of the questions which was being asked in the course is, how this information management course is going to help me? See, that's your slight edge. How? How many of you know this horse racing? And the real example was just last month, Melbourne Cup, Melbourne Day happens where 2 days whole Australia is kind of full, Melbourne is shut off, everybody watches the horse race, people come from all over the world. And the guy who won the horse race, you know how much ahead he was of the second guy? 1 by 400th of a second. Just they had to see the frame 20 times to decide the winner of that horse race. $1 million prize. And then they could only trace that this horse, just the tip of the nose was ahead in the one frame. And guess what? This guy wins $1 million, the second guy gets 0. That's the difference. I call it slight edge principle. To be successful in this world today, you need to be slightly ahead of your competition. And these kind of certifications and knowledge is what will be your slight edge. If I have to hire 2 people and if I find a one person with this kind of certification, other with not this kind of certification, other will go for you. Right? So develop your slight edge. Find your strength. Forget about weaknesses. One of the biggest problems we have in India, which I always taught to my students, is that we from childhood, we are always said, don't do this, don't go into the swimming pool, you will die, all those kind of things. We always focus on weaknesses. If we are not good in maths, okay, get tuition for math. Father will not say, okay, do science tuition. If you are getting 90, get 100. Because we are not focusing on our strengths. There are 34 types of strengths in the world. Every individual has similar strengths. But the problem is, only 0.1% people know their strengths. Most of us, we don't know what our strengths are. By what others say. Just bring confidence in yourself. Right? So this is how technology is evolving. From a storage perspective, industry is bright. I was just with IDC Asia Pacific Storage and I did a 2-hour briefing with them. The storage industry is, there is no way, as President sir also said in the morning, if somebody says I will not be impacted, I don't buy that. I traveled to whole Asia Pacific, to US. In last 4 months, you won't believe what I see. Okay? I was telling the professor, in this year only, just in the toy industry, 32,000 factories have closed. Of bad economy, because China exports 75% of world toys. Right? What's happening? Just look at this. Right? What's happening? Just look at it. I and you are not that bothered. Assume what's happening in the other industry. It's second half of 2009 when you will see the bottom.